Welcome back to another exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV. I'm your host, Gary Malefsky, and the publisher of Cyber Defense Magazine. Sitting in my hot seat today is a very special guest, Benny Lakunashok.
Awesome.
I did it right, and he is the founder and CEO of a cool named company with an easy-to-find URL, zeronetworks.com. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Benny, it's a cool name. What are you doing? I mean, not you personally, but the company.
Well, the company is basically giving you an autonomous, airtight network access security at scale.
Wait a minute. Autonomous, airtight, network access security at scale.
Yeah.
Does that mean that nobody's trusted anymore to zero?
So yeah, basically we're automating the process to take any network and making sure that nothing can just communicate with each other without an approval first. And we do it in a way that can be done at scale in an affordable way. So you don't need to install any agents, we integrate with the existing environment, and we make sure that users can only access what they need.
Crypto?
No.
No crypto?
No crypto.
Now I'm really wanting to dig deep.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. You're creating this no trust environment, but then when you create trust, you're doing it in a way that really works.
Yes.
And I still don't understand, but I know it's the beginning of the interview.
Okay, cool.
Keep going. No encryption?
So it depends on what you mean by encryption.
Well, where are you deployed? Are you inline? Are you out of band? Are you on a span port? Are you hardware? Are
So
you
the architecture
SaaS?
is basically like a SaaS cloud service that does all of the heavy lifting, but we do have some probe in the network. It's not inline, but it remotely governs who can access what by just managing every local firewall. So that's how machines will basically either trust each other to communicate or not. So in a way, we're not inline, but we are controlling or pulling all the strings, so to speak.
Are you admin permission logging in and managing all the firewalls?
Yeah, remotely, but in a secure way. Like it's a one-time deployment for our appliance to get that remote access that it needs.
Okay, what if it's mono wall that I just put on my Linux machine?
So we use the same thing. We just use like IP tables and SSH to remotely do that.
Oh, you're in the hot seat and you're still winning. I got to keep going.
Okay.
You're good. Real good. Hold on. What if it's a Macintosh device with the latest OS from Apple that just got installed yesterday?
Same thing. SSH, IP tables, it just works.
Okay. Boy, this is tough. What if it's the Palo Alto firewall?
So at the moment, like we don't have any integration with some of those appliances, although that's something that we are looking into.
Okay.
But generally thinking, like the old perimeter is dead. Like we don't care if it's like inside the network or outside is the internet. Like the concept, like the thinking should be that everything is the internet. Like
it's almost a peer-to-peer network world we live in now,
Yeah.
right? Like the good old Kazaa or LimeWire or Napster, where we're all connecting and moving data and packets and payload, and sometimes it's bad stuff.
Yeah.
And we notice that the bad guys have lateral movement all the time.
Yeah.
Are you stopping that lateral movement?
Exactly.
Let me give you one example you're going to fix for us. Okay. You know the SMB1 protocol, right?
Yeah.
WannaCry.
Exactly.
Would you have solved 1,400 computers from going down at nih.gov.uk? And would Jimmy have been able to get his operation the same day? What would have happened?
So basically, WannaCry would not have been even, like, it wouldn't have been able to even try to spread, even without the SMB1 that it could spread. At the network discovery level, before it actually knows what it's going to attack, it would have been stopped there because it cannot access anything. So we would have stopped it at the network level, yeah.
So how do I do a file share? Must it be SMB2 or 3, or I can only file share because you've enabled intranet traffic?
So the way it works, like we observe what users normally do, and we allow that. And we also have like a fail open, let's call it, mechanism where a user using their phone can prove it's them and then say, I want to access that something that you have never saw me accessing before. But I can prove it, I'm a human being and not a malware, WannaCry or even the advanced attackers, and then go and access that.
So tomorrow's malware today, right? We've seen malware from other countries, nation states, all this stuff. Do you not need to have AI and heuristics, or you're always keeping up with the next gen by intelligently updating the system?
So we do use intelligence to update and look at what peers are doing, and by that learning, okay, so if Benny and Gary are peers, now if Benny is doing something, we'll allow you to do that without any hassle. But ultimately, like you can use your phone to sanction everything. Like you'd say, I want to access that as a human being, and use the phone, and you'll be able to access that.
What if my phone's spoofed?
So it depends on the spoofing. We need to get into the details of what exactly spoofed. And
Do you have 15 or more variables in the fingerprint of my phone, or how are you doing it? It's just because I'm getting an SMS message?
so we have a few integrations with like Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator.
Okay, I get
We also have text messages and some other fallbacks. It depends on the organization and what they are willing to do for 2FA.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, I hear acronym after acronym. You're saying multi-factor authentication when you say 2FA.
Yeah.
I've got CISOs who are looking it up in Google right now.
Okay.
Okay. No, really, I'm kidding. They all know what 2FA is. But in our industry, we are loaded with acronyms.
I agree.
Luckily, in zero networks, you've already solved. But I used to say zero as in 0 day. You're saying zero as in zero access, right? And we hear SOAR and we hear SEAM, and I don't know. I think I want to start an anti-acronym movement just to make it easy. So you're creating a zero trust environment, but as you enable trust, you're doing it at a peer level. The part that I don't understand is what if Jimmy and Gary are off of a hub together and we want to talk to each other off of a hub, and then, there's a managed switch ahead of us. Can you detect some misbehavior off of a hub between two peers, or it doesn't matter how they communicate?
So we actually do have also detection mechanism built into it, and we can detect if users are misbehaving or are behaving, because we're augmenting the data all the time with like what's being done with the endpoint through our endpoint integration and some other things that we do. So we do have some more sophisticated detection that's built into the prevention mechanism that we have. Basically,
see how tough I am. I'm trying to find a weakness for you, but you don't have any, do you? Come on. Give me one. No, nobody does. We're 100% secure. Just buy it. Nobody's 100% secure. So what happens when there is a breach and I have you? Are you actually slowing down the risk of a breach by a dramatic number? I mean, what are you doing for the buyer that others aren't doing?
So let's ask me, before I answer that, obviously there is no 100% solution. Like you need multiple things, processes, tools, people, and solutions. What our solution provides, it's like building the new trenches that it's very hard for attackers to just move freely in the network like they used to be able to.
We used to have tons of lateral movement and, RDP, which is another acronym.
Yeah.
I believe it's Remote Desktop Protocol. I don't know.
Exactly.
I got it right?
Yeah.
So there's too many lateral movements. There's too much motion of data. What about, last question, IAM, Identity and Access Management? Mm-hmm. That seems to be the hotbed of the future. You've got people all over different locations in a company, right? And they're connecting, you're at one branch office, I'm at another. Are you dealing with the risk that I'm at one branch, you're at another branch, and, I may misbehave and I may move data to the wrong cloud provider? Are you watching that too?
So at the moment, we don't have anything for that. Like we don't aim at solving all of the world's problems. Mm-hmm. But through the integration that we are like adding every few weeks, potentially we can have integrations with some of the IAM providers to look at that and see how we can solve that as well.
I'm not hinting, but I think IAM is an incredible way to help reduce risk because we have shadow IT all the time. It sounds to me like you've solved the intranet lateral movement problem in a very powerful way, and you're doing integrations and partnering. Where are you guys headquartered?
So in Tel Aviv and in New York.
New York and Tel Aviv?
Yeah.
Not Palo Alto?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, I'm not hinting. I'm on the East Coast most of the time myself, by the way.
Okay, cool.
So that's cool. All right. What is the next best thing someone should do? Are they going to do a proof of value off your website? Are they going to download something? Are they going to talk to sales? What are they going to do to learn more about Zero Networks?
Yeah, just go to zeronetworks.com, not io.com, and just click there. You can read a lot of the data on us and just ask for a demo and we'll do it.
I put him through the hot seat. And he made it. And I went a little extra hard because I'm jealous. America, we have a ton of patents. We're much larger than Israel, but they're catching up. With a small population, they've outpatented most countries, one above Japan. And after Japan, I can't remember who's next. So you guys are way up there with inventions. You should be very proud of yourselves. And Zero Networks sounds like a great company. So go to zeronetworks.com, learn more about them today, and then come back next time for an exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV.